accident. Less than a year after he got married, and less than a year after he was admitted to Northwestern University MBA class, which was the second best MBA school in the country. On the right side is Ian, his younger brother, and in the middle is James in high school, celebrating his graduation. And next to me on the other side is Mike, my son's two boys. All are university graduates. Two graduate number one from their university, Andrew from Boston University, and James from Ohio State in engineering. Michael was working for Delta. He created some skills that Boeing needed. They came in, offered him a big raise in pay and big promotion, and now he's working in Seattle, Washington. That leaves Ian, my youngest grandson. And he, you'll find out after my speech, has a unique set of talents. I think he will go far, although at times he feels completely inadequate, because two of his three female cousins are medical doctors, having graduated with high honors, and his brother graduate number one from the university, and one of his two cousins is close to graduate number one. So he feels like a loser, even though his A grades are more quantity than the summation of all the rest. Anyway, the next picture shows Ian and Heather.
Just a second here. Quick second. There you go.
Can you make it the whole picture?
I can't.
Oh, anyway, this is Ian and Heather. They were married in April, and on Monday, 4 days before the rehearsal dinner, Ian calls me and says, "Papa," which is what he calls me, "would you say a speech at my rehearsal dinner?" I said, "Ian, there's a lot going on the next 4 days. There's a rehearsal dinner, there's meeting your in-laws, there's traveling down there, there's getting into the hotel. I won't have time to give a speech." And there was silence on their side of the phone. I realized I had disappointed him. He could have asked his dad, he didn't. He could have asked his step-grandfather, he didn't. He could have asked any one of many uncles, and he didn't. He chose me. So I immediately said, "Ian, I will put something together. At a very minimum, I have a really good toast for you and Heather." And then he sighed relief. And so what happened is, when I got up there, my daughter spoke first, and then she introduced me. It was at Heather's uncle and aunt's house. What a place. Wow, they're doing very well. They resemble to me people in the movie industry, but I couldn't connect them. It turns out they're in the finance business and doing extremely well. Huge, gorgeous kitchen, huge, gorgeous family, in a huge backyard with a fantastic patio. Evidently, Heather's family is doing just fine. And I got up there and said, "Ian was born in San Ramon Hospital in San Ramon, California, which is up there by Oakland and Stanford University, or San Francisco, about 15 miles from Danville, a high-end community where my daughter was living at the time." And then about a year later, I go visit him. My daughter very often invites me to spend a weekend, whether they're in the Midwest, Texas, or Danville. So I jumped in my car and got up there very quickly, and I see Ian. And evidently, Ian is being fed very well because he looks like a snowman. One big head and a big body, like a sumo wrestler. And evidently, the pediatrician soon told my daughter, "You better cut down those calories." And now he resembles, he's like, a thin, tall person. And then when he was 6 years old, I was up there again. And I found out that Ian had some qualities, which were communication and negotiation. I found him with his hand in the cookie jar. And I immediately told him, "Ian, you shouldn't do that. Your mother said don't ruin your dinner with cookies." He said, "I didn't do it." Right away, when you're guilty, you say, "I didn't do it." And I said, "Ian, don't lie to me. I'm getting angry. If you didn't do it, who did?" He says, "My brain made me do it." When you negotiate, you deflect to something else. So I got to go negotiate with the brain. I said, "This guy's got negotiating skills." And then about a year later, he's down in Orange County playing soccer. And soccer is a non-contact sport, but it can be rough at times. And there was a bully on their side of the team, and he came over and drilled Ian with an elbow in the ribs, and then I hit him in the shoulder and knocked him down. While Ian got up and went after that kid like a Minuteman guided missile, and he drilled him with an elbow, and then he knocked him down to make sure he got the message. And then sometime later, he was at Certified High School, which is a boys' Catholic school, very strict on academics, discipline, and athletics. And then the family came crashing down. His dad lost his business, bankrupted the home, and the family fell apart. At that point in time, Andrew was at Boston University. My daughter and Ian went down to Laguna Niguel, and he went to Dana Hills High School. At Dana Hills, he found his calling. He high jumped. He became the sophomore league champion in high jump. And then later, Ian, my daughter calls me and says, "Dad, Ian won a speech contest." And then as a junior, she calls me again, "Dad, Ian won another speech contest." Just like I thought, he's got those negotiating skills and speaking skills. And then as a senior, again, she called and said, "Ian won another speech contest." And then he went to community college because of financial restrictions, couldn't go directly to university. And he was working part-time at a glass company with sell eyeglasses and frames. And working part-time, he became the top salesman. And then he moves over to Colorado, where his older brother is stationed in the military. He moves in with him, and he's got a car, but the car requires gas and money. So he buys a broken down motorcycle, a small one, and repairs it and starts using that, cutting down the overhead. Then he does the same thing with the computer. Takes the laptop that's broken, fixes it, and then he learns software on his own, and he started advertising, "I'll fix any computer problem you have," and he makes more money. Now, to my knowledge, Ian has never had a class in software or fixing a computer or a gas engine. Yeah, he's one of these people who can learn on the go, similar to my son. My son has that ability. He can look at the things and work on them and hear a noise and fix them. My son was the lead repairman at the St. Ernest Carnival every year, where they had these licensed technicians who couldn't fix the problem. And at 17-year-old, my son became the expert of the crew. They go to him, "How do you fix this problem?" Anyway, Ian has those qualities of communication and fixing things. And then soon he graduated and he met Heather. They fell in love, they dated, and they announced their engagement. And then I told him I would give a short speech. It turned out to be longer than expected, and he was happy about that. And based on the feedback I got of laughter and clapping, the speech was very good. And I finished it up by telling everybody get a glass of wine and say 3 times congratulations to Heather and Ian when I give you the signal. If you don't have a glass, pretend you have a glass. And the toast goes like this: may all sweethearts become married couples, and may all married couples become sweethearts. May your love always be added. May it never be divided. Love believes, endures, and hopes, and above all things, love never fails. And we raised our hands and toasted Ian and Heather. And immediately after, Ian came to me, his "Papa, that was a fantastic speech. Thank you so much." And then Ian's mother-in-law, who I had not met yet. I met the dad, the future father-in-law and stepmother-in-law. But the mother-in-law sought me out at the wedding reception and thanked me for having helped Heather with a monetary gift when she got downsized, and the nice things I said about her, and the information I gave them about Ian. Mr. Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster.